is a beautiful song. I always thought the lyrics were different, though. Huh. Yeah, it's different than I remember it. No, that was Three Times Indicted by Parody Project. And of course, we opened the show with Bleed Lines from our friends Sepsis. Swarmy Fest 2 tickets are on sale for November 4th. Welcome, everybody. This is Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. And hello to all of our online listeners across the nation and around the globe. You can go to my website, mattconnerton.com, for all your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, etc., etc. Today is Wednesday, August 2, 2023. Welcome, everybody. We have a great musical guest coming up today in the second hour, or whenever he gets here. He might be here even sooner. We'll see. I'm really looking forward to meeting him. And when Jenny first presented him to me online, we were quite taken with his music. A lot of fun. Really, really cool lyrics, actually. Very funny in some ways. But anyway, Andy Klosenski is here. I'm not sure if it's Klosenski or Klosenski. We will find out the correct pronunciation of his name. Not the name he's been using professionally as a musician. He was using a different name, but he's rebranding. But looking forward to meeting him. I believe he is from the Seacoast. Actually, I think he's from Dover, where my dad lives. So my dad might have seen him live. It's funny. I got a text message from my dad last night. I wouldn't normally read these on the air, but this actually has to do with yesterday on the show. We actually had two musical guests yesterday. We had Chris Stein from the band From Starlight, and then we had Jake Dolery from the UK, who's amazing. But Dad texted me this last night. He said, "Hey, Matt, terrific show today. I'm actually familiar with Chris Stein and the band From Starlight. They have been played on WUNH and also WSCA out of Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And get a load of this. I've been a fan of State Champs, which is one of the bands that I think From Starlight is playing with tonight at that show in Alston. I've been a fan of State Champs for at least 5 years now, because Chris mentioned that during the interview yesterday. I love that band. I knew they were from the greater Albany area. That's quite an area with Schenectady, Albany, and Troy. I think the most powerful area for music in upper New York State. And he also liked Jake Dolery as well. But yeah, my dad, because he lives on the Seacoast and he actually listens to, I always use him as an example of you don't have to get to a certain age because most people, they get to a certain age, much younger than my dad. I think most people, I don't think this happens with musicians, but with non-musicians, they get to like 30 and then they just say, that's it. I'm done with music. I will like music only up to this point, and any music made after this day, I will dismiss as terrible. I will only like music from a specific time period. And my dad's never been like that. He's in his 70s, and he's still to this day. He loves hearing new stuff. He listens to college radio on the Seacoast like WUNH, and he loves hearing new bands, and he says we live in a golden age of music, and I think he's right. There's something out there for everybody. Even, hey, listen, even if you only like music, like say you grew up on classic rock and that's the only music you've ever liked, there are new bands. I promise you, there are new young bands out there right now making music that sounds like that. Don't believe me? Just give it a couple of Googles. You'll find, I'm telling you, anything you could imagine. There's God only knows how many thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of new songs that are being uploaded onto the internet every single day. You can hear anything you want. You can hear brand new music that's in that sounds like a barbershop quartet from, what would that be, the 40s? I don't know, the 20s, whatever. But I'm just saying, anything you want for music you can find. You just got to put a tiny bit of effort in. You're not going to hear it necessarily on the radio, but look for it and you will find it. And if you're like my dad and you live near a college radio station like WUNH, it's that much easier. That you actually will hear it on the radio there. But yeah, it's there's so much stuff. And this show, by the way, is proof of concept because every week we have great new artists. Some very young, just starting out. Some like Jake Dolery, an older guy who we had on yesterday, who's been doing it for several decades, but there's just across the spectrum of age and demographics and style and genre, there's so much stuff out there. So, don't, I just say that because I've met so many people, and you might be someone who can identify with this. Maybe you've met people who are like this. Maybe you're like this yourself. So many people who are just like, nope, I like the music that I heard when I was 16 years old, and anything beyond that is crap. It's like, well, okay, but you have no idea. I mean, you literally have no idea what you're missing out on. And by the way, there's no excuse for missing out on it because it's easier than ever. That's part of the irony of the time that we live in. It's easier than ever to access anything you want for music because of the internet. And yet, I see it on, there's, well, actually, I won't say who it is, but I have a Facebook friend. It's not somebody I've talked to in a long time, but a political person who likes to post things. This is just an example. I see this all the time. But this one individual, they like to post like charts, like Billboard, Hot 100 charts from like 10 years, not 10 years ago, like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, and say probably 30 years ago on average. And we'll say, oh, look at this chart. The music was so much better then compared to now. It's like, do you have any idea what's out there now? I guarantee you that same person never goes online, doesn't have a Spotify account probably, never actually bothers to look for new stuff. It's a weird thing. It's a very strange. I mean, there are theories about why so many people are like that. And like I said, my dad's an exception, and I'm obviously an exception. My uncle is an exception to that as well. My uncle Matt. So maybe there's something genetic there. I don't know, but we just never. The Connartons. We never get to that point where we just say, no, that's it. I only like music up to this date, and anything after that, I refuse to listen to and enjoy. It just doesn't happen to us. But I think what happens is people connect music with memories, and if you get to a certain point where you just, I don't know, you just lose interest in doing that. Like and you've heard all the music, and maybe you've made all the memories you care to. I don't know. It's almost like maybe people sort of give up on life in a certain way, and that causes them to give up on music. I don't know. Well, no, I don't. Maybe that's not it, because I certainly know people who live life and enjoy life and have a lot going on who, for whatever reason, just, they got to be like 30 years old and decided that any music created after their 30th birthday was garbage and just intolerable to listen to. So maybe that's not it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what happens, but I'm glad that not everyone's like that. And I'm glad that my dad's not like that, because I'm not like that. And maybe, like I said, maybe there's something genetic. That's why growing up, I never had that thing with how people have that thing with their parents where, you have the music when you're a kid, you have the music that you listen to, and your parents are like, oh, why are you listening to that? You should be listening to this. That generational thing. I never had that with my dad, because my dad always liked new music. Like, the whole reason Kiss became my favorite band is because, and my dad wasn't like a big Kiss fan, just a casual fan, but I still remember the moment. I was on the living room floor after school one day when I was a kid watching MTV, and the video for Tears Are Falling by Kiss was on the television. And my dad came home from work, and he kind of poked his head into the living room, and he said, Maddie, what is that? Who does this song? Is that Kiss? And I said, yeah, it's Kiss. And he said, oh, I really like this song. And I said, me too. It's like my favorite song right now. And apparently my dad made a mental note of that. And sure enough, in my Christmas stocking was Asylum, which is the album that song is on, by Kiss. And I listened to that, and I fell in love. Kiss was my favorite band ever since. But there's so much great stuff out there. So don't, I know I go on this sermon about maybe once every 6 or 7 weeks, but seriously, I've even had people say to me, oh, Matt, you've got all these great musicians on your show, and I just wish there was more good music out there. It's like, but wait a minute. You just said like, these are original. It's not like I'm booking, or Jenny, I should say, she does all the booking. It's not like she's booking cover bands to be on my show. They're coming in and performing original music. And then you say, oh, I wish there was more good new music. It's everywhere. It's not hard to find. Anyway. But yes, Andy Klosenski will be joining us today on the program. Really looking forward to that. And if you'd like to join us in the meantime, if you want to get in with a call, the studio line is open, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. You can also text me at 617-917-4476. I'm on social media at Matt Connarton. You can email me, matt@mattconnerton.com. And of course, you can interact and opine in the Facebook live chat. But the best thing to do so that we can hear and enjoy your dulcet tones is to give us a call at 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. Oh, by the way, I should mention too, especially being this far into the show, Eric Pilcher is not with us today. Eric Pilcher, of course, he usually joins us the first hour on Wednesdays, my favorite conservative. He is not able to be here today. And no, this time John Hopwood did not steal him away. No, he just had a schedule conflict. So he won't be on today, and no film review this week. He's just got a lot going on. So he'll be back in the mix next week, I'm sure. Let's take a moment to say hello to everybody in the Facebook live chat. And then we'll probably get into, I don't know if anything's, seems like it's, yesterday was a slow news day, huh? I'm kidding. I hear dogs barking outside. I usually hear horns and sirens at some point during the show. Occasionally somebody arguing about something. Oh, no, it's still there. It sounds like more than one dog. It sounds like a gaggle of dogs. Wait, no, dogs don't run in gaggles. They run in packs, right? No, a pack. No. A pack would be wolves. A pack of wolves. What when you've got a bunch of dogs barking all at once? What is that other than extremely annoying? I'm sure they're cute though. I say they're annoying. If I went out the window right now and looked at the dogs barking, I'd probably be like, "Oh, I can't be mad at them. They're so cute." Let's see. Melanie La Liberty from the great state of Vermont joins us in the Facebook live chat. Hello, Melanie. B. Pinard joins us and says, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, B. Mike from Queen City Cabinetry in the historic Sunbeam Mall, one of our great sponsors here at WMNH 95.3. And I get to see Mike every Friday night for Retro Spectrum Radio with Paulie C. I have the honor and privilege of being one of Paul's co-hosts on that program, along with Mike and, of course, DJ Steve. Jenny is in the chat room, of course, and says, shalom, peeps. Charles Richardson from the state of Florida joins us and says, oh my, sweet cream butter stick, it's hump day. Greetings, peepholes. Greetings to you. Let's see. Archer Flight joins us in the Facebook live chat, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess that Archer Flight might, in fact, be from Greensboro, North Carolina. Archer Flight says, good afternoon, hashtag Matt, we say. Good afternoon, hashtag Jen Coffee, we say. We say Chris Stein from the early days of the band Blondie. No. Different Chris Stein. Oh, that's a good reference, though. No. Chris Stein from the band From Starlight. But yes, there is a member of the band Blondie, also named Chris Stein. Fairly common name, I would imagine. Charles Richardson says, I heart Napster. Ah, yes, Napster. I think that still exists, but in a different form. I think you pay for it now. And he says, what? Spot a fly? No. Join us in the new century, Charles. Well, it's not that new. We're, 23 years in? Anyway. Melanie says, tell us who it is, Matt, so we can find them and mock them on Facebook. Oh, the person who posts those old Billboard charts and says, look how much better music used to be. I'll tell you, why not? I mean, he's been on the show. He's a public person. He posts on social media. It's Greg Moore from Americans for Prosperity. I don't know if he's still with AFP. He used to be. The New Hampshire chapter. Archer Flight says, we say, who is your guest? Hashtag Matt Connarton. That is Andy Klosenski. He'll be arriving anytime, actually. Chatted with him online earlier. He was just getting ready to leave. So, and Archer Flight says, good afternoon, hashtag Eric Pilcher. We said to you from us, Archer Flight, please, you must pay attention. Eric is not here. JFed says, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, JFed. Melanie says it's that kind of unreliability that results in him not getting an unleashed shirt. Well, I didn't want to say anything, Melanie, but might have something to do with it. Might have something to do with it. You gotta show up to get it. Know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Let's see. Archer Flight says, we say there are two Chris Steins, hashtag Matt Connarton. Yes, Chris Stein from Blondie and Chris Stein from Starlight. I would imagine there's probably many, many more Chris Steins. So like I said, probably a very common name. Let me give the studio line one more time. 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. Oh, by the way, and Charles might find this interesting, and Jenny too, of course. Just quickly, WWE's Vince McMahon hit with grand jury subpoena and search warrant by federal agents. Okay, now they're going after Vince McMahon, and you know I'm a wrestling fan, so now I say, you know what? I think it is all the deep state. This is unfair. This is two tiers of justice. Can't go after Vince. It says here, WWE Executive Chairman Vince McMahon was served a federal grand jury subpoena and issued a search warrant by federal agents, the company revealed today. In a regulatory filing this week, WWE revealed that federal agents executed a search warrant on the company chairman in July. By the way, I have to tell you, I'm one of those people who, whenever I hear certain phrases or words, I think of songs. I connect everything to music in my mind. For example, whenever I hear the word voodoo, I'm overcome by an urge to listen to the song Voodoo by Black Sabbath. Whenever I hear the phrase or see the phrase federal agents, because, that's a term we hear quite a bit these days in the news, I think of Mo Money, Mo Problems by P. Diddy. I think he was going by P. Diddy at the time. I don't think he was just Diddy yet. Mace and Notorious B.I.G. I think of that line in the third verse, federal agents mad because I'm flagrant, tap the cell and the phone in the basement. That just pops into my head every time I have to read the phrase federal agents. Federal agents executed a search warrant on the company chairman in July, and that it, quote, has received voluntary and compulsory legal demands for documents, including from federal law enforcement and regulatory agencies concerning the investigation and related subject matters, unquote. The investigation into McMahon is ongoing, WWE says, but no charges have been filed at this time. Look, I'm not let me just pause for a moment, and Jenny and Charles and some of you will understand what's about to happen here. And the rest of you, Easy G is in the chat room. He might understand it. The rest of you will be completely baffled. But I'm going to do this if you'll give me a moment of personal privilege here. I need to have a little bit of a conversation with somebody. And I don't, to the chagrin of my father, I don't do this very often, but I am going to do this one. I'm going to break this rule. I'm going to do this live on the air. I'm going to pray. Let us pray. Dear God, please let Vince be too busy to have anything further to do with WWE, and put Triple H back in charge of everything. It was so much better when Vince was gone and Triple H was running everything. Please let that happen again. Amen. Now, I have to be honest with you. I don't know that the big guy heard any of that. But I tried. I'm doing my part. I should have done that. When I was a kid, I used to watch All in the Family, and Charles Richardson says, "Amen, Matt Connarton," and J-Fed says, "Amen." Is it amen or amen? I think Mike from Queen City Cabinetry said, "Amen." Archer Flight says, "Amen," we say. This is wonderful. We're all praying together. We should make this a show about, pray. I don't know. But I was thinking about when I was a kid and I used to watch reruns of All in the Family, and Archie Bunker, who very rarely prayed or went to church or anything, but he was always lecturing Gloria and Michael about they should do those things, even though he didn't. But on the rare occasions that he did pray, he would look up at the ceiling and he would say, "Hey, Lord, A. Bunker here." He felt that he had to identify himself to the Lord, although he didn't feel strongly enough about it to actually say his full name, so he just said his first initial, A. Bunker. as an Archie bunker. Interestingly enough, though, I don't remember an episode where Archie prayed for anything related to professional wrestling. They should have done that. They should have. That might have happened on Archie Bunker's Place, or maybe one of the spinoffs, Mod or something. I don't know. Let's see. The investigation into McMahon is ongoing. Last year, McMahon briefly departed the company. That's what I referred to in my prayer. After the WWE opened an investigation that alleged the former CEO paid a female employee $3 million after a consensual affair. From CNBC, this is what they said at the time. WWE on Wednesday said that during the 3 and 6 months ended June 30th, quote, the company incurred $5.3 million and $7.1 million respectively of expensive related. Okay, we don't need to get into all that. That's old. That part's old news. But I will say the company does better when he's not around. Let's just put it that way. 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. Let's look at this because it's already almost 4:30 and we have a guest coming up. But thehill.com, this is regarding what I referred to earlier, 5 revelations from Trump's Jan 6 indictment. And by the way, we should remind people too, it's the indictment is not about January 6th specifically. That's a bit of a misnomer. It's about efforts to overturn the 2020 election. EZG just private messaged me and said, please God, amen, with the prayer hands emoji. So EZG also joining us in that prayer. Should I have asked for other stuff? Well, was that foolish of me to be so quick? I mean, I could have asked for other things. I don't know, like world peace or something. But that would be a good thing to have thrown in there. That's too late now. Maybe in the second hour. We'll see how Andy feels about it. Melanie La Liberty seems to agree in the chat room that that's a great reason to pray, although she didn't put it quite that way. She says, next time you pray, can you include a chicken sacrifice? I don't think that's the same. I think you're mixing up. Look, I'm no theologian, but I think you're conflating some things there, Melanie. I don't think we can do that. I don't think so. Scott Robinson says in the chat room, I'm praying for Triple H and the Hulkster to be co-presidents of WWE or of the United States. I think either one would be fantastic. Let's see. All right, 5 takeaways. Why can't I get back to the article now? Here we go, 5 takeaways. So 5 revelations, I should say. Ooh, revelations. That does sound more dramatic. Former President, this is from thehill.com. Former President Trump has been indicted over his efforts to stay in power after losing the 2020 election, with the Justice Department detailing its case in a 45-page document unveiled Tuesday. While much of what is in the indictment was brought to the public's attention by the House Select Committee investigating the Jan 6 attack on the Capitol, there are several new details in the filing about Trump's conduct, actions taken by 6 co-conspirators in the case, and officials in Trump's administration in the weeks after the 2020 election. Here are the 5 revelations. First, the 6 co-conspirators. By the way, can I just say this? I keep thinking that the term co-conspirator, isn't that redundant? You need more than one person for a conspiracy. So aren't all conspirators co-conspirators? It's like when people say past experience. It's like, yeah, I know it's past experience. Any experience you have would be in the past. You don't have to say past experience, do you? Unless you're a time traveler. Or when people say growing up as a kid. Yeah, I know you were growing up as a kid. You could just say as a kid, or you could just say growing up. I assume you didn't just enter the world as a fully formed adult. Forgive me. I digressed. Okay, the indictment lists 6 co-conspirators in Trump's orbit following the 2020 election who are unindicted. Unindicted, and it feels so good, but could still ultimately face charges. Special counsel Jack Smith said yesterday, quote, our investigation of other individuals continues, unquote. One is John Eastman, a central figure in forwarding memos that spurred Trump's pressure campaign on then Vice President Mike Pence. Eastman's attorney, Harvey Silverglate, really? Silverglate? Interesting name. Confirmed his client is one of the co-conspirators. He said in an interview, quote, "This is not a situation where we're running and hiding. I guarantee you, if it happens, if our client is indicted, which I actually don't think is going to happen, but if he's indicted, we're going to trial. If convicted, we're going to appeal. There are no deals here," unquote. Other unnamed co-conspirators appear to be Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, Jeffrey Clark, and Ken Chesebro. Based on descriptions contained in the indictment, all were involved in various legal efforts to overturn the 2020 election results contained in the indictment. Representatives for Giuliani and Clark declined to confirm they are the co-conspirators. Powell and Chesebro's attorneys did not return requests for comment. Giuliani allegedly pressured state lawmakers in key swing states after the election. Powell filed various lawsuits based on false claims of mass electoral fraud, more than 60 of them, if you recall. All got tossed. Trump mulled appointing Clark to lead the Justice Department to move forward the baseless fraud claims, and Chesebro. I've decided to go with that one because I enjoy cheese. Plus, it just sounds fun. It sounds like something you'd say, like if I were going to share my cheese with a friend, I might say, "Hey, you want some cheese, bro?" I never say bro, but I would in this instance. I don't actually share cheese with friends. I want all the cheese for myself. I'm very selfish with cheese. But Chesebro was involved in a scheme to submit fake electors. The indictment also lists a sixth unnamed individual described as a political consultant who is not clearly identifiable. The indictment alleges the consultant helped with the fake elector scheme and sent Giuliani contact information for attorneys who could assist with the plan and U.S. senators. Okay, second revelation. DOJ official raises Insurrection Act. One element of Trump's plan to remain in office, according to the indictment, was putting pressure on Justice Department leaders to falsely declare that widespread fraud occurred in the election and thus put the weight of the DOJ behind Trump's claims. The filing alleges that Trump called for Clark, a DOJ official, to take the lead of the department and back the fraud claims, Jeffrey Clark. Clark allegedly drafted a memo that he intended to be sent to state officials in key swing states that decided the election that would claim the DOJ had, quote, significant concerns about the validity of the elections in several states. Clark was told on multiple occasions by Acting Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen, Acting Deputy Attorney General Richard Donahue, and Deputy White House Counsel Patrick Philbin that his claims were false and the department had not found evidence of widespread fraud. The indictment relays a meeting between Philbin and Clark on January 3rd, 2021, 3 days before the Jan 6 attack on the Capitol, in which Philbin tried to persuade Clark to not become acting attorney general as Trump had floated. Philbin reiterated that widespread fraud had not occurred and Trump remaining in office after his term ended would cause riots in every major city in the country. Clark allegedly responded, quote, "Well, that's why there's an Insurrection Act," unquote. The act Clark referenced gives the president the power to deploy the military and National Guard in times of rebellion or violence or to enforce the law. All right, the third takeaway. Trump reinserts language into Jan 6 speech. And by the way, there's a pattern of him doing that kind of thing, apparently, but we'll look at this. The indictment lays out in extensive detail how Trump repeatedly sought to pressure then Vice President Pence both publicly and privately to overturn the election results, despite Pence making clear that he did not have the authority to do so. One instance includes Trump defying his aides to personally put language in a speech to supporters that called on Pence to overturn the results. Yes, and we remember that, don't we, from his speech that day? I hope he has the courage to do the right thing. By the way, it turns out Vice President Mike Pence did have the courage to do the right thing. We might have different ideas, some of us, about what the right thing was, but he followed the Constitution and carried out his duty that day. Prosecutors detail how on the morning of Jan 6, Trump called Pence to pressure him to reject the results, which Pence refused. The indictment reads, quote, Immediately after the call, the defendant decided to single out the vice president in public remarks he would make within the hour, reinserting language that he had personally drafted earlier that morning, falsely claiming that the vice president had authority to send electoral votes to the states, but that advisors had previously successfully advocated be removed, unquote. In his speech outside the White House, Trump said he hoped Pence would, quote, do the right thing, and argued if Pence, quote, does the right thing, we win the election, unquote. The fourth revelation, and this one we didn't necessarily, I'm not surprised, but didn't necessarily see this one coming. Pence's contemporaneous notes. The former vice president plays a central role in the events of the indictment, and prosecutors reference previously unreported, hence why we didn't know about this, contemporaneous notes Pence had taken during conversations with Trump. By the way, quick side note about that. We could find a situation occurring where former Vice President Mike Pence, one of Trump's opponents in the quest for the nomination, might also end up testifying against Trump in court if he is called to testify, which would be fascinating. So many things we've just never seen happen before. It says here, the indictment cites notes from January 4 a January 4 meeting among the then Vice President Trump and other aides. According to Pence's notes, Trump made knowingly false claims of election fraud, including, quote, bottom line, won every state by hundreds of thousands of votes. The way it's written here is a little funny. And we won every state. And asked about a claim that Justice Department officials previously informed Trump was false, including as recently as the night before, about, quote, 205,000 votes more in Pennsylvania than voters, unquote. Pence knew this was all BS. Pence previously appeared before the grand jury investigating Trump and Jan 6, and his I can't say that word all of a sudden, contemporaneous notes could prove to be a critical piece of evidence moving forward. The indictment details several other conversations between Trump and Pence in which the former pressures the latter to overturn the results. It references one conversation previously detailed in Pence's memoir in which the then vice president called Trump on Christmas morning, only for Trump to quickly turn the conversation to claims of election fraud. Well, what else would you discuss on Christmas Day, right? And in a January 1, 2021 call that was also detailed in Pence's book, Trump berated Pence after learning Pence had opposed a lawsuit seeking a ruling on the vice president's authority to reject electoral votes. When Pence said there was no constitutional basis for him to reject the votes, Trump replied, quote, "You're too honest." And the final revelation from the indictment. Trump rejects request from Cipollone to withdraw objection. Is it Cipollone or Cipollone? I've heard it said both ways. I like Cipollone, though. I don't mean I like him, the person. I like his name. I like saying his name that way. Following the end of the riot at the Capitol, Trump and Giuliani made a series of calls to members of Congress to urge them to delay the certification of the Electoral College votes, according to the indictment. Can you imagine, by the way, you've just been through that? You've just been through all that happened that day, and then he's calling you saying, hey, I know it's been a hard day, been a little stressful, but I just wanted to talk to you about that, and it's like, oh my God, leave me alone, dude. It's over. Come on. Anyway, just had to be very frustrating. Two White House aides called two senators to try to connect them with Trump, while Giuliani called 5 senators and 1 House member. The indictment states that co-conspirator number 6 tried to confirm the phone numbers for 6 senators whom Trump had directed Giuliani to call to further delay the certification. While Giuliani was calling senators on Trump's behalf, White House counsel Pat Cipollone at roughly 7 p.m. called Trump to ask him to withdraw his objections and allow the certification to be completed, but Trump refused. Cipollone was one of the star witnesses for the House committee that investigated the events of Jan 6, and his testimony featured prominently during the panel's public hearings. So there you go. That is from thehill.com. 5 revelations from Trump's January 6th indictment. So it just keeps piling up. Now, the good news about that for Trump, and you might say, what? Good news? Oh, yeah, no, there are silver linings, of course, because for him, because everything that happens legally in terms of legal problems just helps him raise more money, and solidifies his support among the base. His poll numbers continue to rise among Republicans. And, like I've said all along, I mean, he will be the nominee. So we continue to be in this weird dynamic that we've never seen before in American history, where we've got we've got I always call him the presumptive nominee, because I presume that he will be the presumptive nominee. I presume that he'll start winning primaries and eventually be officially the presumptive nominee when the time comes, when our primaries begin to happen. By the way, last I heard, speaking of primaries, New Hampshire is still scheduled to go first. So I hope that holds. JFed in the chat room says, a billionaire that needs your money. Well, yeah, apparently he's burning through cash, because what's going on, and this has been in the news too recently, that 3 out of every $4 that the campaign takes in, or the PAC, to be more precise, the political action committee that they take in is going to pay Trump's legal bills. And there's been, although one thing about that, and there's been a lot of speculation about, well, how are his supporters, as they learn this, how are they going to feel about that? They're donating money and then it's just getting used to pay his legal bills. But I don't know why anyone would care. I mean, if you're MAGA, if you're a Trump supporter, why would you care? I mean, this is just, either way, you're helping him. So I don't imagine. I mean, again, I've heard people speculating about that, but I don't know why any Trump supporters who are donating money would particularly have a problem with it. But but to finish the other point, though, it's such a weird dynamic where we're in the situation where, the more legal jeopardy he's in, the more likely he is to be the nominee, because the more he is able to, the more his support increases among the base of the party. But at the same time, so it makes him that much better a potential, and I do believe inevitable nominee, but that much worse of a general election candidate, because having a general election candidate with all these indictments, the base, he tells the base of the Republican Party, they're not just after me, they're after you. I'm getting indicted because I'm fighting for you and all that. And they believe it, they eat it up, and they give him money. But that's not going to help him in the general election, because what's happening is, his support increases among the base of the party, but who is this winning over for the general? So assuming he is the nominee, and assuming Biden is the nominee, which he will be, he's the incumbent, unless, something happens to him, which is possible. I mean, the man is 80 years old. But assuming that all holds, who is being won over? Who is being won over who didn't support Trump in 2020? Who is being won over to support him now? Who are the independents who went for Biden in 2020 who are going to say, well, you know what? I have some ambivalence about Biden, but Trump's got all these criminal indictments. Maybe I should give him another look. So he's not expanding his base among, among independents. Or any opportunity to peel off some disaffected Democrats or even, suburban moderate Republicans who maybe, kind of held their noses and voted for Biden in 2020. They're not going to look at him and say, oh, the guy who's got all this legal trouble. Yeah, I think maybe I will give him a try after all. I just don't think that's going to help him. That is not to say that he can't win. He can win. A lot of people say he can't win. No, he can, because there's any number of things that could go wrong with Biden. If Trump could be on his way to prison, but what if Biden is starting to slip and fall down a lot more? He starts. I hate to say it, but what if they're about the same age, Joe Biden and Mitch McConnell. What if Joe Biden has something similar happen to him that happened to Mitch McConnell, because that's all it would take. That's all it would take. I honestly believe this. Let's say, we're a month out from the election. Trump's got all these legal problems. He's desperately hoping to win, so at least some of it he can make go away. Federal charges he can make go away. The second he's president, he can make that all go away. Tell the DOJ, yep, that's it. Forget that, and he can try to pardon himself, which might work. But say we're a month out from the election. Trump is in all kinds of legal trouble. May have been maybe a felon at that point if any of these trials, we'll see what happens schedule-wise, but theoretically he could at that point be a felon. Right? By the way, there's no law that says he can't be elected as a felon to the presidency. So let's say we've got a convicted felon, just hypothetically in the future. We've got a convicted felon, but his opponent, Joe Biden, let's say Joe Biden, he's probably going to win. And then all of a sudden, Joe Biden is giving a campaign speech and has a Mitch McConnell moment. Or they're having a debate and Joe Biden has a Mitch McConnell moment. That's it. Trump wins. I'm telling you, I really believe that. Something like that happens to Joe Biden. Joe Biden has to be the absolute healthiest that he's capable of being to win a second term. Again, Trump will be a horrendous general election candidate with all this legal trouble. Or as our friend Sarah said on the phone that day that Huey the Gecko was here the first time, covered in legality. But most of you won't know the reference, but if you remember, that was probably pretty funny. But Biden can take himself out easily by having just something go wrong. Again, either he starts falling down more, he seems like his energy is even lower than it already seems at times. Sometimes he seems really up, like the State of the Union, for example. Actually, he's given some very good speeches where he seems really just full of energy and vigor. And other times, oh no. But if he has a Mitch McConnell moment, it's over. It's over. Done. Whoever his opponent will be, even if they're a convicted felon, they will be able to beat him. So Trump can still win, but I'm just saying all this legal trouble, while it makes him a stronger and stronger prospective nominee, and I'm more certain than ever he will be the nominee, it makes him a worse and worse general election candidate. But, good timing. So on that note, we are going to take a break. We're going to show some love to our amazing sponsors. We'll play a little song. And then when we come back, we have a wonderful musical guest here with us. And I'm really looking forward to this. So there is plenty more. Matt Connarton Unleashed coming up. Don't go away. Come on down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, free dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. cabinetry.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Clemento's Pizzeria, family friendly, awesome for a date night. Clemento's Pizzeria.
For delivery, call 603-782-8450.
Clemento's Pizzeria, the best pizza in town.
1875 South Willow Street in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Best cocktails around.
Come in as friends and leave as family.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
WMNH, rip the knob off.
You call yourself a non-believer, as if some god above might care. You're like a ghost now, even you don't think you're there. I've seen the way the world will break you, like hangmen twisting in the air. Hello, cruel world, I'm mistaken, you the one that's fair. I've seen you drive a man to something, made up as if it all were true. I've only breath to say this one thing. Hello, cruel world, I'm not running, I'm gonna be you. You're always upping all the ante to prove you're not afraid to lose. This world's a ruthless vigilante. It knows your living's just a ruse. Oh, world, you set a man to dreaming and help his dreams up off the page. Unprovoked, you start to draw the curtain before the actors leave the stage. You try to guarantee your safety, but only make your sharpness dull. The world is waiting to drink from the goblet of your skull. I've seen the way the world will break you, like hangmen twisting in the air. Hello, cruel world, I've mistaken you for one that's fair. I've seen you drive a man to something, made up as if it all were true. I've only breath to say this one thing. Hello, cruel world, I'm not running, I'm gunning for you. The world is waiting on the sunset to wake you up from all your dreams, leaves you to your feeble devices to write your hymn from panic screams. Oh, world, you build a man a mountain and you compel him toward the top, but he is only mortal. You know he's only got one shot. If the climbing don't destroy him, it just eludes him that he is not. I've seen the way the world will break you, like hangmen twisting in the air. Hello, cruel world, I've mistaken you for one that's fair. I've seen you drive a man to something, made up as if it all were true. I've only breath to say this one thing. Hello, cruel world, I'm not running. It takes your love and tries to break it, as if to only prove you wrong. It's all but certain you won't make it till the dawn. In draws the curtain, but I'm still on stage and staying on. Hello, cruel world, I'm not running. 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 Hello, cruel world, I'm not running.
Oh, I like that. That is Hello, Cruel World. That is Andy Klosenski. Did I say it right? Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to bring your mic up there. Hey.
Hey.
There we go.
Nice. Oh, yeah, I can hear me now.
Very good. Very good. Welcome. Yeah, I like that song a lot. That's good. It's
Thank you.
catchy.
Thank you.
And Jenny and I got a big kick out of when we first watched that YouTube video where it's you playing outside. It's like 20 minutes long and you're doing some different songs. That's a lot of fun. That was kind of my introduction to you, seeing you online. And
Perfect.
I said, yeah, we definitely got to get him on. If you're just joining us, this is Matt Connarton Unleashed as we are entering our second hour, numero dos here on WMNH 95.3 FM here in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. And hello to all of our online listeners across the nation and around the globe. You can go to my website, mattconnerton.com, for all your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, etc., etc. Today is Wednesday, August 2nd, 2023. And Andy Klosenski is our musical guest. He's gonna play for us. We're gonna chat a bit between songs, and this will be a lot of fun. Yeah, go ahead and play a little, Andy, if you would. I'll just kind of get some levels here.
Sure thing.
Should be good. I'll kind of ride the faders as we go. I'm a sound guy, so I'm pretty
Nice.
I'm pretty maniacal about it almost. All right.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, human compressor. There we go.
Very good. So yeah, what are you going to play for us? You want to tell us anything about the?
Yeah, I'm gonna play a song called "Idea Man." It's off of that same album as the previous tune, and yeah, I mean that's about all I got on it right now.
Okay. All right, cool. Here he is, Andy Klosenski, live in studio here on Matt Connarton Unleashed.
Idle doodles of dreams rising off of the page. Call me an idea man. Ooh. It came in a flash. Ooh, agonized and rehashed. Ooh, the twist of a mustache. I'll be tying the muse to the tracks. I'll be riding the lightning 80 billion wires. Dead and now I'm touched with fire. That which was lifeless now respires. Idle doodles of dreams rising off of the page. Call me an idea man, a muse in a cage. Superman or a Clark can't know I am the booth. Call me an idea man, transformer of the truth. Or a couple of yucks. Ooh, or a couple of bucks. Ooh, no such luck. Content consumers all say, for the love of the game you still show up to play. You ain't got any leverage, we ain't gonna pay. What's an idea anyway? Idle doodles of dreams rising off of the page. Call me an idea man, a muse in a cage. Superman or a Clark can't know I am the booth. Call me an idea man, transformer of the truth. light bulb broke. Such a cruel, cruel joke. I'm never paying that electricity bill. I'm rising the occasion to fill a void that will never fill. I'm a dark horse stirring up. Yeah, every manner of dark force for the Champions Cup. Get it up until I'm finally unsaddled, entrenched and battled. I ran away, my demons tattled on me. Now I'm breaking away and there's no looking back. Ain't no thinking or dreaming, only who's on track. Yes, I'm breaking the ground where castles once were shacks, and highways were once cul-de-sacs. Idle doodles of dreams rising off of the page. Call me an idea man, a muse in a cave. Superman or a Clark Kent, no, I am the booth. Call me an idea man, transformer of the truth.
Love it.
Thank you.
Andy Klosenski is here with us live in studio. That song is called Idea Man. And Barb Barton Feeler is in the chat room. Says,
oh, hey, Barb.
Says, woohoo, Andy, sing it. And Jenny says, woot, woot. Yeah, good stuff.
Thank you.
And that's on, so is that on the RPM challenge from 2020?
Yep. That's on INFP. That's the first tune. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I hear a lot about the RPM challenge on the show.
Great.
Now, what is it? You've got like, you got to make a song a day for how many days?
No, you make an album in the month of February. Yeah.
Oh,
so you
I
get
gotcha.
28 days to make a full-length album. Yeah.
What's the minimum number of songs required to count as an album in the
Either
challenge?
10 songs or 35 minutes. That's the threshold.
I gotcha.
So, yeah, I usually
gotcha.
end up with 11 songs, and I'm usually in right around 35 minutes.
Yeah,
37.
Is that the only year you've done it? Is 2020?
And no, I did it a bunch of years.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I went back to 2007 with some other projects and such.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how I started making albums and
Oh, no kidding.
recording. Yeah, before that I was just doing stuff with a little 4-track in my room and writing songs. I had a junior high band. I was in a couple of bands. Well, not even bands really, just people would get together a little bit in high school, but I wasn't really doing a lot with it.
Yeah.
It kind of fell by the wayside when I left high school, and then I picked it up again. I don't know, early 20s. Yeah, so right around 2007.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I made I started doing that, and then it's one of those things that, like, there are a lot of people who are veterans around that just they just make RPM albums.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It's a fun challenge.
What does INFP stand for?
Oh, so that's a Myers-Briggs personality identifier. Yeah.
Oh,
so
I should have known.
Yeah. The introverted, intuitive, feeling, perceptive. Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember. I took that test once. I don't remember what I know that I was also an I because I'm also an introvert.
Yeah.
Which is why I do this, because I feel safest. I would say I feel safest behind a microphone, much more so than, like, I don't go to parties or anything. I'd rather be behind a microphone or on a stage or something. That's where I feel the most comfortable.
It's funny how that works, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. A lot of, there's a lot of famous people who are actually introverts because, they love performing, but they'd rather do that than do a lot of social things.
Some of the boisterous ones too. Some of the really big, like the bold ones, like Prince, Freddie Mercury, Michael Jackson. Those guys were all quite introverted. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Can you tell me too? Some of your songs are pretty funny.
Thank you.
There's that one. I wasn't going to ask you to play this one necessarily. I'm not sure the lyrics would fly on an FM show, but you know the song I'm thinking of?
I don't know. You could be describing a lot of songs in my discography.
That's
not gonna
true.
lie.
Yeah, Used White Sob, I think it's called.
Oh, you don't think that's gonna fly?
That's pretty funny. Well, let me look at the lyrics again.
I was planning on playing that.
I might have it confused with another song. Let me look at these lyrics again. Maybe I might be thinking of a different song because these look all right.
See, that's the thing is, like, I don't really drop a lot of, like, F-bombs, anything like that.
Yeah, that's true. It's innuendo and
yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like innuendo and
Oh.
kind of having some, you know.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I might have been thinking of a different song. I mean, this one, there's a line in here that's really funny.
Yeah.
But I think it's actually fine. I don't see what the problem would be.
Yeah.
See, I'm glad I looked at it because you're right. This one's okay. It's funny. See, now I actually want to hear it.
Oh yeah, you will. Yeah, that was going to be like one of my closing kind of tunes. So,
cool.
I was like,
cool.
I'm like, oh, we don't pull that one out from under me.
All right, good.
That's
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, in the meantime, so it sounds like you want to save that one for later, though. So, in the meantime, do you want to play? You want to play something else?
You know, I mean, we can. Yeah, let me play something else first.
Okay.
Let me play something else first.
All right. And if you're just joining us, Andy Klosenski is here with us in studio. Mike from Queen City Cabinetry, one of our great sponsors in the chat room. He's also enjoying your music. He says, very nice.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right. Whenever you're ready, sir.
Sure. This one's called We Can Take Our Time. So this is a newer one. This isn't on a record yet.
Oh,
so.
nice.
Darling, don't worry, you can always change your mind. There ain't any hurry, darling, we can take our time. Try to meet the world face to face. They always look at me so strangely, like I'm from outer space. But I'm not the only one who feels out of place. We're built to bear the pain, don't hush it takes, like flowers in the rain. But we never break what is lost and what remains. One and the same, the future's ours to make. Darling, don't worry, you can always change your mind. There ain't any hurry, darling, we can take our time. Oh, tell me, is there something I can say to change your mind? You can think it over, darling, not hard to find. We can take our time. Where in the world will we go when it seems the world just doesn't want us or even wants to know? I'm not the only place we live and grow. We'll weather the disdain in any form it takes, like flowers in the rain. But we never break. You don't have to go it all on your own. You can believe that we are not alone. Darling, don't worry, you can always change your mind. There ain't any hurry, darling, we can take our time. Oh, tell me, is there something I can say to change your mind? You can think it over, darling, not hard to find. We can take our time. Ooh, we can take our time. Ooh, we can take our time. Ooh,
Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. Andy Klosenski is here with us live in studio. If you have any questions or comments or anything at all for Andy, the studio line is open, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. Just make sure you get in between songs, of course, but if you want to talk to Andy, and of course we have the chat room open on Facebook. You can also text me at 617-917-4476. Here's a new name in the chat room. Might be a fan of yours, Tony Santis in the chat room.
Yeah, Facebook friends with that.
Yeah,
guy.
very good. Yeah. He
Nice dude.
joins us in there. And Archer Flight says, tell Andy K we say keep up the good work.
Excellent.
And,
Thank you.
And Mike from Queen City Cabinetry says, I really like that one. Yeah, me too. Can you tell us a little bit about influences, Andy? I'm hearing some different things in there, but
that song was kind of like a 70s Motown inspired sort of thing.
Yeah.
It started off me like kind of trying to write a Jackson 5 song. Like,
oh, no kidding.
Yeah, maybe Tomorrow or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a little. This is the thing. It's like, so I listen back and I'll like go, okay, well, let's listen to a Jackson, like that kind of era Jackson 5, and I go back and it's Never Can Say Goodbye, and that's like tight, clean composition. Like that's very.
Yeah.
Like, I got like a ton of chords in here and stuff. So
yeah,
I have a hard time not playing a million chords. But yeah, I start playing seventh chords and it just goes and goes. So, yeah, a lot of fun.
Are you always a solo act? Do you ever play with other musicians?
At this point, yeah, I'm pretty much always a solo act. Yeah, just hooking up with musicians, being able to put in, the time to get things tight and get things where they need to be. Because my stuff's not, it's not virtuosic. You don't have to be, a member of Frank Zappa's band to play it, but it's not exactly easy either. So
right.
I kind of want to make sure that everything's nailed down.
Well, like you were saying too, you've got a lot of chords in there, and yeah. You've played in bands before, though, I would assume, right? Or
yeah, a little bit here and there.
Yeah. Do you ever think about putting a band together to play this stuff? Or,
yeah,
really,
periodically, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's about getting the pieces to come together.
Yeah.
Gets trickier the further away you get from 20, 23. So yeah. So yeah. But I'm definitely open to it and looking a little harder than I had been before.
Really? Okay. Interesting. And you live in, is it the Seacoast area where you live?
Yeah, I'm over right. Technically, I'm in Madbury, so I'm like right in between Dover and Durham. Okay.
Yeah, I was commenting on the show earlier. My dad, who obviously he's an older guy, but he's very into new music. Like he listens to WUNH. He lives out there. He lives in Dover.
Yeah.
And he has gone out to see some live music. So I was commenting. He'll probably text me later. I was commenting earlier on the show. He might have seen you live at some point, or just seen you around the scene because he pays a lot of attention. But
yeah, if he frequents any open mic nights at all, there's a good chance that he's definitely seen me.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, and there's a lot of great talent from that area. I've always really thought that the music scene around there, and there's some good places to play too. Where do you play? Do you do mostly open mics, or do you ever do?
At this point, I'm doing a lot of open mics.
Yeah.
Starting to play some more shows now. I actually got one coming up this Saturday.
Oh,
Hi-Fi Brewing. Yeah, I'm opening for a band called Marble Prone.
Yes, we've had them on the show.
Yeah.
That might be how we got connected with you.
Yeah, Madison.
Oh, yes, Madison Russo. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Excellent. So you're going to be opening for them. That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It should be fun. Should be a good time.
Do you often get to do that where you obviously you're doing the solo thing, but do you have does that come up a lot where you get to open for a full band, or do you often play?
That's how I used to do it.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, yeah, that's how I I would get some shows here and there, kind of sporadically.
Yeah.
But a lot of places they're looking to book a band, they're looking to book somebody with a rhythm section.
Right.
So a lot of times what I would be doing is I would be opening for other musicians, for other acts, and there were a number of them, 7, 8, 10 years ago that I was doing that with.
Oh, okay.
And then I kind of left the scene a little bit.
Yeah.
About 2018-ish.
Okay.
2019.
Yeah.
I wasn't really doing very much of anything. And
yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm getting back out again. So.
Yeah.
Having a lot of fun.
And when you record, we were talking earlier about the RPM challenge. Where do you record? Do you do everything at home, and do you do that yourself, or?
Yeah. So that's where I was doing all my stuff. I've got a little standalone. It's called a Korg D888. It's a little standalone. It's a digital
Yeah.
a recorder, but it's not a DAW. It's not using a computer. Just a hard drive, an internal hard drive, and I've been using that since 2007.
No kidding. The same machine.
Things on its last legs. Yeah, I just bought a Tascam 24 track.
Oh wow!
Less than a year ago. It's a similar situation.
Yeah.
So the idea is that I'm gonna move over to this other one that's got more tracks available. Then I'm gonna do all the basic tracking, then send it along to somebody.
Yeah.
Who can collaborate and make it.
Yeah.
Make it better.
Yeah, that's cool though. That I mean, if it still works, I mean, that's great, and you've obviously gotten a lot of mileage out of out of that Korg. That's pretty cool.
An awful lot.
That's great. Well, you want to play another song?
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
I'd like to hear more. And
this next one is a newer one as well. I don't have this one. There are a bunch of songs that I've been playing out now.
Yeah.
The most of my live set is stuff that I don't have on record yet.
Oh, okay.
So this one is called "Dancing While You're Burning Alive."
Oh.
Do you mind if I do this without the cans? Is that?
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, whatever works for you.
So
yeah.
I'll make sure that I'm up here on the mic.
Yeah. No worries.
Thank you.
By the way, Tony Santes says, "Sounding great. Digging the tunes from Maryland."
Thank you, Tony.
Yeah, very good. Very good. All right.
World, but the world too small. Walked right up the frozen edge and dared myself to fall. Jumped right into the ocean, looking for my depth. Settled in a villa in a border town on the edge of life and death. Got that divine electrocution. I'd wear a bolt of lightning out. Said I can practice all my elocution, but you ain't gonna know what I'm talking about. If I can't find some solution, how am I ever to survive? It's a foregone conclusion, like dancing while you're burning alive. Afraid of no man in black going round and taking names. Sign mine on the dotted line with a puckered curve and lipstick stain, as my brain is a bubbling cauldron just below its flashpoint. Ain't ready to come down yet, and I'm halfway through my last joint. A divine electrocution, I'd wear a bolt of lightning out. Said I can practice all my elocution, but you ain't gonna know what I'm talking about. If I can't find some solution, how am I ever to survive? It's a foregone conclusion, like dancing while you're burning alive. Yeah. The earth can shimmy beneath my feet, but my legs ain't gonna quake. I break hearts at the sugar glass, I blow minds at the candles on a birthday cake. Said I'm alive, why I said the side to side, said I'm a slide fire down a mountainside. My conflagration's like a congregation, singing the gospel across an orange sky. I'm shedding all my skin, can't nothing hold me in. I'm melting like paraffin, I gotta get out, get out, get out, get out. You're gonna know what I'm talking about, cause I'm 10 foot tall, bulletproof and bad like Jesse James. They're gonna hang me in the loo, but they're still trying to build the frame. Gonna burn every bridge tonight and those marshmallows over the flames. And I'll be huddled in the rubble for warmth in the morning with only myself to blame. And that divine electrocution, that bolt of lightning wears me out. Said I can practice all my elocution, but even I don't know what I'm talking about. Ooh, send a song through the lightning, and if that storm cloud don't arrive, you can find me fending off the darkness, dancing while I'm burning alive. You can find me fending off the darkness, dancing while I'm burning alive.
I'm burning. Ooh, I'm burning. I'm burning. Ooh, I'm burning. I'm burning. Ooh, I'm burning.
Nice. You do fit a lot of chords in there.
An awful lot, yeah.
Tamsin Churchill in the Facebook live chat says, love the energy.
Thank you.
And we also got a message on the text line. Holly from Dover says, sounds great. Very good. Very good.
Thank you, Holly.
If you are just joining us here on Matt Connarton Unleashed, Andy Klosenski is here with us live in studio. And if you have anything at all for Andy, any questions or feedback or anything, you can give us a call, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. You can also interact and opine in the Facebook live chat. And of course, you can text us at 617-917-4476. Kyle Clayton from The Morning Show with Peter White, which you can hear, of course, weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. here at WMNH. Kyle in the chat room says, save some sex for the rest of us, dude. He's afraid you're gonna take it all, I guess, with your music.
Oh,
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that's what he means.
Sure. Yeah. Be like, all right.
Save some for the rest of it. Don't be selfish.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of a story to that song? I feel like a song involving being on fire and so forth. It might have a story.
Yeah. So that was written in a style of a band that I like quite a bit. They're some friends of mine, and so I just as an exercise, I'm like, I wonder if I can try to write a song like that.
Yeah.
So I did, and yeah, and that's what came out. That's I guess that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of yeah. It's a good question. I didn't really stop and think about it too much.
Do lyrics
finish them.
Do lyrics come to you easily, or
sometimes not?
Yeah.
More often than not, they don't.
Really?
Yeah. It's the melodies. The melodies and chords come easy.
Yeah.
The last part is the lyrics, getting those to fit. I like to try to fit them, especially because I get kind of particular about melody these days. So I try to fit them neatly over the melody so that the accents of the words are going to roll with the accents of the melody.
Yeah.
So you don't have those two things fighting.
Gotcha. Has your style changed at all over the years, or in terms of how you approach it and what the songs are like?
Oh yeah, very much so. So early on, I was trying to do stuff like Frank Zappa, Captain Beefheart. I was trying to do stuff that was pretty off the wall.
Yeah.
There was a bit of musicianship going on there too, with trying to, compose stuff a little bit more.
Yeah.
I kind of settled in after a while, doing like a singer-songwriter thing, mostly out of convenience, to be honest. Because it's just me and the guitar.
Yeah.
So that's, it's just a lot easier. It's a lot easier to get out and perform your stuff, to play. I was playing open mics a bunch, and I was trying to adapt these songs that I had overdubbed all these guitar lines and bass lines and stuff. Thankfully, I didn't do too much percussion, so you weren't missing too much. You're missing a little bit of a cajon and some maracas. That was about it. From the recording, but yeah, it got tough to kind of balance all those elements. So yeah, just out of convenience, I started writing as a singer-songwriter. Now I guess I'm that guy.
Did you ever do the looping thing live or anything like that?
I never did that. To be honest, that's a terrifying proposition for me. Because there's so many things that can go wrong. You're tapping the thing, like that learning curve. A guy named Tim Bear, who I see at the open mic nights. Shout out to Tim Bear, Tim Bear Music. He does looping stuff.
Yeah, Yeah.
He does a real good job with it. Yeah. The other thing too is about looping stuff. For me, like when I write songs, they're always changing a little bit. Stuff's always shifting around. And if I have like a chord progression that's kind of going around and around, I just like to dart and change direction so often. So I can't commit to like a 4 or 8 bar sort of thing very often.
I gotcha.
So that's the other thing too, is that, like, as just compositionally, like sitting down and going like, all right, well, maybe I take the hit, learn how to deal with the loops and, loop something and then play over it. Yeah. Yeah. It's I don't know. It's still not out of the question, I guess.
Yeah, no, that makes sense what you're saying though. It's kind of like when a band plays to a click track.
Yeah.
You know, like especially big arena bands who, you know, they've got a lot of special effects and whatnot, so they have to play to a click track, and they have to, you know, can't change anything on the fly, can't, you know, maybe add an extra chorus at the end of the song or anything. That, you know, they have to stick with exactly what they have because of that click track, and they have to, you know, they have to stay committed to it. And I guess with the looping, it's kind of a similar thing, right? Where, you know, once you do that, you have to commit to it, or because there's, I mean, I guess in theory, maybe you could change it on the fly, even with looping things, but there is a lot that can go wrong.
Yeah. And I guess too, you can undo loops and redo loops or something.
Yeah.
But if you're layering a lot of stuff, that it seems straight. You know who else is great too? I don't know if you've ever heard of her, Tune Yards. Have you ever heard of that artist?
I don't think so.
So she does, I think she's originally out of Mass. Her name's Meryl Garbus, and she does these amazing things with loops. Makes these great records, and when you see her live, like the way she delivers that, and everything just lines up. Everything is like, and she's building it, like she'll build it there in front of you. That's what a lot of the thing with a loop thing is, that you start it and you build it up in front of everybody, and that's kind of like, you know, part of the secret sauce.
Yeah.
And she would do that, but everything is just right on. It's almost like you might as well be on a click, like a really grooving click track, but like just how well, like she's able to lock that in and change stuff on the fly. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. She's unbelievable. I saw that. She's almost like a virtuoso.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people get really adept at pulling that off, but yeah, it must take a while to really get that down.
Yeah.
So do any of those songs that you did early on where you would have to kind of adapt them for the live performance, did any of those survive? Do you play any of those now, or did you give those up?
I haven't played too many of them. A lot of them did survive. They were I say a lot of them. I guess it was a relatively small percentage, but a good number.
Yeah.
I've got a couple that I still play. I've got a couple that I'm going to be playing upcoming pretty soon. So there are a couple of those.
Yeah.
A couple of those that I'm dusting them off. Right now I've been so focused on playing the newer stuff.
Yeah.
That
you must, do you know how many songs you've recorded? Because it sounds like you've recorded a lot with all the RPM challenges and
recorded. I mean, I don't know, 100, 200, something like that. That's just recorded. I mean, I've been writing songs since I was 11. So, you have bits and pieces of stuff lying around all over. Yeah.
Do you still remember the first song you ever wrote?
Not well.
Yeah.
Not well. Mercifully not well.
It
wasn't very good.
I don't think to ask everybody that, but I get very different answers. Some people will tell me, "Oh yeah, I remember everything about it." I don't remember who it was, but I had one guest who told me, "Yeah, I actually still play the first song I ever wrote." It's like, wow.
Well, when did they start writing? If that's the case, like I guess if they wrote it when they were like, 18 or 22 or something, then it wouldn't be too cringe. But if you're 11.
I mean, it's funny. I'm a musician. I'm not active in that at the moment, but I remember, I actually remember some of the first songs I ever wrote. I thought I was a really good lyricist when I was really young. And I also remember finding those songs.
It's a great preamble. I thought I was a very good lyricist.
I thought I was. And then I remember finding those songs years later. And I remember ripping them up and throwing them out because I didn't want anyone to ever see them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a mood.
Yeah.
That's a mood.
I was like, I mean, there was nobody else in the room, and yet I'm looking at these papers and I'm like, wow, that's really embarrassing.
Yep.
Like John Bon Jovi, but with severe head trauma. Like these are horrible lyrics. But oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's. I'd love to hear another song if you want to play something.
Yeah, I think I want to do that.
All right, awesome. If you're just joining us, by the way, Andy Klosenski is here with us in studio, and he is playing live, and we're talking, and we're having a great time. And we are live, of course, here on Matt Connarton Unleashed from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM.
This next song is called Used White Sob.
Oh, all right. I'm ready.
Sorry, pardon me. Oh, yeah. The echo.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
Standard fare, TV dinner, a doobie, and a stale eclair. Look in the mirror, see who's standing there, mourning each thin graying strand of hair. I've no illusions about true romance, infatuation at a passing glance. All I'm hoping for is one more chance, dyeing my beard for the singles dance. And if all else fails, I'm gonna wrap a roll of quarters in the tube socket, stuff it down the front of my pants. I'm punching out of my weight class tonight. No, I ain't leaving anything to chance. Rev the motor, ooh, I'll be cruising the streets, though you know, I ain't no stretch limousine. No, honey, I'm a used white Saab, something you can drive into the ground with dignity. I'm the one for the job. Reach into your jacket pocket, grab a fist full of fob. Lock me up and fog up my windows, turn up the goddamn stereo. We're almost there, yo, not as planned. Back on the market and off my brand. Cologne on the dresser for a one-night stand. Lotion on the nightstand in my cold right hand. Maybe the bar scene on a weekend night, or an algorithm on a dating site. By the candle of my phone's blue light, finger reluctantly swiping right. In several hours we'll be going at each other in the darkness, stumbling out of our pants. I'll pay for the drinks and the dinner, but I ain't buying heartbreak in advance. Maserati, always peeling away in the pale morning light, with your heart's gasoline. Take a flyer on a used white Saab, something you can drive into the ground with dignity. I'm the one for the job. Reach into your jacket pocket, grab a fist full of fob. Lock me up and fog up my windows, turn up the goddamn stereo. We're almost there, yo. I'm a used white Saab, something you can drive into the ground with dignity. I'm the one for the job. Reach into your jacket pocket, grab a fist full of fob. Lock me up and fog up my windows, turn up the goddamn stereo. We're almost there, yo.
Nice. Used White Saab from Andy Klosenski here in the Facebook live chat. Jenny says, he's so much fun. I love it. And Holly A. Furlone says, clap, clap. That name's familiar. Is she a musician?
Yeah.
From, yeah. I think I've met her through, oh, no, I can't remember his name. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I just you meet so many people in the scene. You know how it is.
Yeah.
But I think I've met Holly before.
Yeah, I met her at the Earth Eagle North open mic in Somersworth.
Oh, okay. Yep. Barb Barton Feeler says, love it. And JFed really likes that as well. Oh, and Ryan Walters is in the Facebook live chat and says, I'll second the clap, clap.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And we have a call. We'll grab this. I think this might be our friend Charles from Florida. Charles, is that you?
Yeah, it's me. I wanted to ask him, is how hard is it to write a song? Do these things come to you like within like 15, 20 minutes, or do you spend like days at a time or weeks at a time trying to compose a song and get everything written together? Lyrics first, or do you do tunes first?
So sometimes it's incredibly easy to write songs to the point where they just keep flowing and they don't stop, and it almost becomes a problem in your life. At least for me, that's sort of a dancing while you're burning alive kind of situation. Other times it's incredibly difficult to write them, especially when you're trying to complete them. I guess I wish I had. So it's not an original answer, but I think it's a fitting answer. Anywhere from 15 minutes to 15 years. It can take an awful long time to write songs. As far as words first versus music, it's almost always music. For a while, I was writing melodies first, so I would always have tunes that I was turning around in my head. So even before I put my hands on a guitar or anything else, it was a tune that I was working on. But mostly now I'm sitting down with a guitar, I'm playing around, I'm finding chord changes that I like, and then following, coming up with the melody.
Sounds great.
Yeah, those
really
things
does.
kind of feed each other. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Very good.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, on the ones that came with you instantaneously, has that been one of the ones you played today?
Great question. Dancing While You're Burning Alive came pretty fast.
No kidding.
That came. Yeah, it's a bunch of words and everything. That came pretty fast. Because it was so freeing. Because I was writing other kinds of music, and stuff. It gets kind of baroque after a while. Like a lot of chords, a lot of melodies, a lot of range, and and you're writing these words and you're trying to make them fit over something, and then you do something that's kind of a straightforward rock and roll thing. The cadence is a lot easier. That like everybody kind of has written in that cadence. Not everybody, but a lot of people have written that cadence going all the way back to old country music. So you can just kind of fall into it, and then the words just kind of flow, even if they're not very obvious words. Like you can just fit more words in there because it's an easier kind of form to write in. I find. But as far as those go, Idea Man came pretty quick as well. That came together. That was a few days still, because you write down lyrics and you'll get like an idea. You'll get some sketched lyrics or whatever. You get a verse, but you won't get the rest of it, or you get the chorus, but you don't get anything else. And if you don't jump on that quick, then you just have a chorus and you're sitting on that for 4 years. So I guess those two came pretty quick. The other stuff was a little bit labored.
How long? When did you first pick up a guitar? Like, are you self-taught, or did you take lessons? How did you get to be so crafty with an instrument?
Oh, thank you. So I was fortunate enough to both have access to lessons. My folks could afford to get me lessons and stuff. And I also had an older brother who had a guitar, so there was always a guitar kind of around the house, at least starting, I don't know, I think he got it when he was 14, so it would be like, I don't know, 7 or 8 or something.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, going all the way back, there are pictures of me, like, standing in front of a television in diapers, like, holding a tennis racket backward like a guitar. I would watch MTV, old enough to stand, holding the tennis racket as a guitar. So like it was always kind of there, but a tennis racket is very, very far from a Stratocaster. So like you still have to learn a bunch of skills and stuff. I've been doing it.
Guitar Hero a part of your learning process?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, I am off with that. I'm still off with them because I tend to sit behind the beat. And if you get something that's a little bit quick and you're behind the beat, and because you're not supposed to be you're supposed to be exactly on the beat when you're playing guitar here, because it's a video game. Yeah, it's Pac-Man. It's not right. It's not. You're not playing in a band.
Right.
So endless source of frustration. Yeah, no, none of that. It's just an acoustic guitar and some Black Sabbath.
Nice
acoustic guitar, some Black Sabbath, some Michael Jackson. Couldn't figure out how to make the two meet until I don't know.
Very cool. All right, well, I'll let you two get back to it. Thank you very much.
All right, Charles.
You're welcome.
Appreciate the call. Thank you.
Thank you for the question.
All right, very good. By the way, Holly says in the chat room, I thought, yes, Jim Terrell introduced us. I do remember now, Holly. She said, yes, Jim Terrell was recording a show with you, and I swung by to check it out long time ago. Yeah, that was a long time ago, but I do remember that now. Yes. Also, DJ Steve is in the Facebook live chat. Of course, DJ Steve, I see every Friday night for Retro Spectrum Radio, another show that we do here at WMNH. He says, "Hi, everyone. This guy is great. Really digging it."
Thank you.
Very nice. Very nice. Melanie had some questions about the lyrics for in that song, "Used White Sob," but the questions are. I think we'll leave those be. But that song does make me laugh. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, mission accomplished.
Yeah,
that was based on that was kind of a like a yacht rock pastiche.
Yeah,
so it's kind of supposed to have that sort of doobie bounce.
Yeah,
a little bit of Mike McDonald there.
Oh yeah, I like it. Boy, his name comes up a lot on the show recently.
I'm wearing him, man.
Oh, I'll be damned.
Yeah, I'm rocking him right now.
You got the Michael McDonald shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Sultan of Smooth, baby.
Yeah.
Raja of Rue.
I don't know if you know this, but so David Crosby, before he died, it might have been the last interview he did. He was on the Howard Stern show.
Uh-huh.
And he said during that interview that, I guess they were very close friends too, Crosby and Michael McDonald. But he said that he believed that Michael McDonald was currently the best male singer in the entire United States. But nobody could sing better than Michael McDonald, in his opinion.
Yeah, I mean, in this date.
Yeah, this would have been within the last year. But when he said it, he was speaking at the present time. He said Michael McDonald is the best male singer in the entire country. I mean, granted, he's biased because they were very good friends too. I think Michael McDonald is on doing some backing vocals on the last album that David Crosby put out.
That guy did backing vocals like nobody's business.
Oh yeah,
on all those Steely Dan records.
Yep.
And then, it was so much so that if you listen to other like kind of soft rock or yacht rock tunes from that like late 70s, early 80s, there are a bunch of them that have guys. It's not Michael McDonald. They're just trying to sound like Michael McDonald. They're like Michael McDonald clones.
Right.
Yeah.
I found over the years to this day, some people don't realize that I like to use the example of the Christopher Cross song, "Ride Like the Wind."
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't even realize that, the deep voice on that's Michael McDonald, "The Long Way to Go."
Yeah.
I can't do you sounded like him just now when you did that. You really sounded, I can't sound like him. Hey, you want to do that one more time? That sounded really good. You do sound like.
Long way to go. It's an easy one it's kind of, I mean, if you got the tenor thing.
Yeah.
I don't do impressions very well, but that's one that you just kind of, put one finger in your ear like you're recording something, like the one can on.
That's awesome. No, you do sound like him.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to do anymore. I don't quite have those high notes anymore. Not today, anyway. But
Tamsin Churchill says so good. I don't know if that's in reference to the Michael McDonald impression or the song or both, but
I think it's in reference. I think it's explicitly in reference to the Michael McDonald.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Just playing a hunch on that one.
You want to play another song?
Yeah, I got another one.
Cool. If you're just joining us, Andy Klosenski is here in studio with us.
So this one's a newer one. I don't have this on our record yet.
Okay, cool.
That last one, "Used White Sob," that's on that record, INFP. It's the one with kind of the dark cover with just my face on it.
Yeah.
I think the other one's a dark cover with my face on it too. That's not really narrowing it down. It's the one that the one that doesn't have the Jar of Babies. And if you have to ask, then check it out. Andy Klosenski. All right, here we go. This one's called "Discotheque of One." Cocaine and cold champagne, lying in the warm Miami sun. Might as well be pouring rain, dancing in my discotheque of one. I'm spinning on roller skates, but my heart's about to break. I'm crying rhinestone tears like chandeliers on down my face. My mirror ball eyes shimmer even when I'm not awake. Discotheque discontent, I'm
Agitation's what you meant. Baby, I'm a discotheque of one. I'm working to earn my living, but hardly any living's getting done. So I'm making what they ain't giving, living in my discotheque of one. Tired of the tired life, inspiration come to me on high. Elevate me, take me higher, baby, like a ball of fire across the sky. All those swirling lights and colors coursing through my rods and cones. All the flights of fear and fancy falling out the microphone. All those aspirations aspirating in a hotel room alone. Discotheque, discontent, I'm too busy crying to have fun. Agitation's what you meant. Baby, I'm a discotheque of one. I'm working to earn my living, but hardly any living's getting done. So I'm making what they ain't giving, living in my discotheque of one. Cocaine coursing through your veins, flying high and headed for the trees. Look out! My feet are on the ground, in the round. The empty dance floor shimmers, pools of tears and scattered light. Setting sun reflecting off my mirror ball eyes. My boogie night has just begun. Dancing in my discotheque of one. Dancing in my discotheque of one. Dancing in my discotheque of one. Dancing in my discotheque of one.
Nice. I love that.
Thank you.
I love that. That is really, really good. Andy Klosenski is here with us live in studio. Hey, before we run out of time, I want to make sure that people know where to find you online, especially where some people might struggle with spelling your last name if they don't know.
Yeah. That's, I mean, three syllables, three word letters per syllable, all phonetic, but it's a weird string of phonemes.
Right.
So it's Andy Klosenski, K-L-O, S as in Samuel, E, N as in nitrogen, S as in Samuel, K-I, Klosenski.com. Andy Klosenski.
Yes, you got a brand new website. I saw that.
Yep.
Or it looks new.
Yeah, it's pretty new.
Yeah. Oh, Joy Duran joins us in the Facebook live chat.
Hello, Joy.
And you said you should mention, too, you've got a show this weekend?
Yes, I do. Yeah, we're at Hi-Fi Brewing. And that's in Portland, so it's not local to Manchester, but...
Yeah. Well, we got listeners all over online, so that's the beauty of the internet.
This is true, yeah. So that's going to be at 8 o'clock on Saturday, August 5th. So this Saturday. Show starts at 8. I'm opening for Marvel Prone.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm on at 8 sharp. And then they're on, I believe, 9. Yeah, I think I'm going for a full hour. So.
Oh, cool,
yeah.
Cool. You want to sneak one more in? We got time for one more if you want.
Ooh, good question. Probably ought to, shouldn't I? Let's do this.
Yeah, seize the moment.
Let's see. I'm going to do something off of one of my other albums called We're Alive.
Okay.
This one is called Diane.
All right.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I can hear the shower running over you dying. Steam all around you like a choir. Whoa. Hot nights, moonlight, towel around your head. Live limbs, warm skin, climbing into bed. Maneuvering like poetry over me dying. Each limb a stanza and each inch and I am. Bright eyes find mine through tangles of your hair. Reach out 9 times, middle of the night, but you're not there, you're dying. Whoa, whoa, the ship's wheel in my hands. Whoa, whoa, but I'm longing for dry land. Whoa, whoa, on a course I know I'll stray. Brain awake at night, you'll understand. Whoa, whoa, that a man just ain't a man till he's back in your arms, dying. Tangle of bodies and sheets. Oh, what a feeling of leaving your feet while wayward we're stealing, climbing so high until our heads hit the ceiling again. Can't let you get away, Diane. I could have seen it coming from here to Old Cheyenne. But every time I play, I tip my hand, and all that water spinning down the drain. Still I bother when only lonely suds remain, 'cause I can hear the shower running, lonesome as I am. It's running far from over you, Diane, in cascades that made tiny rivulets down your shoulders, face, neck, and freckled breast, Diane. Whoa, whoa, the ship's wheel in my hand. Whoa, whoa, but I'm longing for dry land. Whoa, whoa, on a course I know I'll stray. Brain awake at night, you'll understand. Whoa, whoa, that a man just ain't a man till he's back in your arms, Diane. Tangle of bodies and sheets. Oh, what a feeling of leaving your feet while wayward we're stealing, climbing so high until our heads hit the ceiling again. Ooh, I know, Diane. Ooh, Diane, here I am. Absolve me of my past beliefs. Bring your loving back to me, Diane. Diane, Diane, Diane. Oh. And that's off my album We're Alive.
Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. Thank you so much. I'm glad we were able to get one more in. Andy Klosenski, this has been wonderful. Thank you, my friend.
Yes, thank you for having me. Likewise.
This has been great. Really enjoyed it. And if you're just joining us, of course, if you missed today's show or any part of it, it will be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org and at my website, mattconnarton.com. And don't forget, tonight is, I believe it's Poetry Night at the Hop Knot, our amazing sponsor, right across the street at 1000 Elm Street. And Andy, why don't you give your website one more time, too, before we get out of here?
Yeah, it's andyklosenski.com. So Andy, common spelling A-N-D-Y, Klosenski.
Very good, very good. Thank you so much. And, you know, we'll have to do this again.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, very good. Thanks, Andy. Thank you, everybody. And that's it for me for now. Let's see. Don't forget, be back bright and early, 7 a.m. for the morning show with Peter White. And I will talk to y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody. beautiful.
Thanks.